All right, today we're going to be graphing in 4 quadrants. We had a lesson a couple of weeks ago where we were graphing in just 1 quadrant, but because in this chapter we are including integers, which are positive and negative numbers, we're ready to move to 4 quadrant grids. So let's just start with some vocabulary. The origin, we learned this a couple of weeks ago, but you're going to find the origin on a 4 quadrant grid right here in the center where the x-axis and the y-axis intersect. That is at 0, 0. So we can label that origin. We have the x-axis again, and remember the x-axis is the horizontal axis. Horizontal, like the horizon, is flat. So here is our x-axis. So we're going to label that right above the x-axis. Then, of course, we have the y-axis, which is the up and down or the vertical axis. So we're going to look at the vertical axis right here and label it. Y is standing tall. So you can remember that the Y stands tall. The Y is a taller letter. The x-axis is a shorter letter, and it's on the ground like the horizon. Now, in a 4 quadrant grid, you have 4 quadrants, and we've actually numbered the quadrants. And in the first quadrant, quadrant 1, which is this quadrant right here, we have this one as quadrant 1 because this is the quadrant where both the x and the y ordered pairs are going to be positive. For example, right here, that would be 4, 3. They're both positive. No matter where you go in this quadrant, both the x and the y-axis are going to be positive. So up in your circle, we're going to put Q. That means stands for quadrant, number 1. And the positive positive means that the x is going to be positive and the y is going to be positive. Now, when numbering the 4 quadrants, what we do now is we're actually going to go counterclockwise because the second quadrant is actually this one. So we started here and now we're moving in this direction around it to number the quadrants. So this is what we call the second quadrant. And all of the ordered pairs in this quadrant, if you look right here, all of the x's are going to be negative and all the y's are going to be positive. Let's look to see what that means. Let's pick an place right here. Let's say we're right here. We started here at the origin, and here's our number line. Notice it has positive numbers on the number line and then negative numbers when we go to the left from the origin. So we start at the origin, and if we go to the left, look at our number line here. We're in the negatives. That was a -3. See how the x was negative? And then we go up to +5, so the y is positive. So all of the ordered pairs in quadrant 2 are going to have the x's that are negative, because from the origin we're going to the left on this number line where all of the numbers here are negative. And all of the y's are going to be positive because from the origin we're going up, and all of this is the positive part of the number line. Okay, as we continue to go counterclockwise, we have quadrant 3. So quadrant 3 is going to be down here in the bottom left-hand corner. In this quadrant, both the x and the y are going to be negative. So let's pick a point here. Let's pick this one right here. To find that order pair, you start at the origin, and we always go left or right first. You have to run, so we go to the left. Notice we're on the negative numbers, so this is going to be a -6. Then we're going to go up or down. Here we have to go down to a -4. We're in the negatives down here. Notice the x and the y are negative. So all of the ordered pairs down in this quadrant are going to have 2 negative numbers, both for the x and the y. And then the last quadrant is quadrant 4. Here, all of the x values are going to be positive because we're starting at the origin and going to the right on this number line, and all the numbers are positive. And all the y's are going to be negative because we're starting here and going down, and you can see that all the y's are negative. So if you know what to expect from each quadrant when you're graphing something, you have an idea if you're being in the correct area. So an ordered pair is two numbers. The first number is the x. Start at the origin and move to the right for a positive number, because this is a number line, and when you move to the right, you have your positive integers. And if it is a negative, you're going to move to the left, because you can see that to the left on a number line is where you have all your negative integers. The second number in the ordered pair is the y. From the position on the x-axis, move up for a positive number and down. So first, you have to find where your x is. So if your x is -3, you first start at the origin and go to the left -3. This is where you start from to go up or down. You don't start at the origin for the y. You started at the origin for the x, and then you moved left or right. Now we go up or down from that place. So if it's positive, you're going to go up, because this is where the positive part of the number line is. If it's negative, you're going to go down, because here's the negative part of the number line. But you always do that from the x number. So always remember, we run, which means that we're always going to go sideways. We're going to run before we can leap up or down. So you go sideways with the x first, left or right first. So here, let's go to practice this. This is where we make a picture. So we start with our first ordered pair of 3, 7. We start at our origin and we go 3 to the left, 3 to the right, and then we go 7 up, and we put a point there at 3, 7. Both numbers were positive, so we know that that's going to be in quadrant 1. The second one is 5, 7. Both of those are positive, so we know that's going to be in quadrant 1. And you just go over 2 more, so that would have been 5 over 7 up. And now we're going to connect that with a line, because we're drawing a picture. 5, 3, both numbers are positive. We know it's going to be in quadrant 1. Start at the origin, go over 5, up 3. We're going to put our point there, and we're going to connect it with our next line. 9, 3, both are still positive in quadrant 1. We start at the origin, go over 9, up 3. So our point is going to be right here, and we connect it with a line. The next one is still both positive, 9, 1. So we go to the right 9 and up 1, connect the line. 5, 1, start at 0, 0, go to the right 5 and up 1, connect the line. Now, here's the first time that we've had an ordered pair that does not have both numbers positive. This one's negative, this one's positive. This is going to be down here in quadrant 4, down here in this area. So it's 5, -3. So we start at the origin, run 5, then go down 3. So our ordered pair is going to be right there, and we're going to connect the line. The next one also has a positive and then a negative, so we're going to be in quadrant 4. Go to the right 3, down 3, connect the line. Now we've bumped back up to both positives, so we're going to be going back up to quadrant 1. Start at the origin, go over 3 and up 1, connect the line. Here's the first time that we've had an ordered pair where the x is negative and the y is positive. This is going to be over here in quadrant 2. So we have -1, so we start at 0, 0. We go to the left on that number line 1 to -1. Then we go up 1 on that number line, -1, 1, and we connect the line. Maybe you can begin to see what we're drawing here. Then we have the same quadrant, -1, 3. So this time we go up to 3 and connect the line. We're back in quadrant 1 with 3, 3. Go to the right 3 and up 3, connect the line. And then we're ending in the same place that we began at 3, 7. And there is our last, is a cross or a plus sign. Works for both. This has been graphing in 4 quadrants. I hope that is helpful.